Ahem. What if I did this? That's Elena. It's a little bit loud for me. Not too bad. Now it's perfect. If anything, it's probably too quiet. What a cool matchup. Oh, what a good start. Why do you do that, though? Why do you spin scythe? Necro's probably decent at punishing that. Just failed car throw. Car throws after a parry are somewhat precise, because you can't do them. If you buffer the throw, the car won't come out. So you've got to wait for the parry to fully resolve before you car throw. Elena players should be used to that, though. Parry into throw, how sad. Elena players probably used to that, too. Mill it. Rhino horn him, with a little bit committal. What was that? That looked weird as hell. See how wide, far apart the hits were? Just one hit by itself and then long ass pause. Necro backdash into Elena. It was a trade. Unfortunately, that has enough invincibility to reliably trade, I'm pretty sure. Like, it stops being invincible on the frame. The fireball's already out when it stops being invincible. I don't think you can stuff it. Maybe you can. Pretty sure it's got some invincibility. Stay around house. Ugh, I don't like the random EX rhino horns. It helps control the mid-air space, but this Necro's actually staying decently grounded. I say that he just jumped in like a bunch of times. I like the neutral jumps. I've always been a strong proponent of neutral jumping. Nice, that was a whiff punish maybe. We sweep. Bet anything Necro had some kind of cool double sweeper on Elena. I always want to see it, but it's often not good. Ah, what a much more boring matchup. He tried to red parry second Rekka. I respect. Third strike. Take it back. Ooh. Xiang's killing it. Hello. Good old Rekka. Classic. Oh, what a nice catch. Going under Necros when they drill is a favorite of mine. Oh, very nice. Red parry attempt, or? I feel like it was. Nice. That was a fake dive kick, I think. Trying to land in front and grab. Jesus, that forward dash. Necro's forward dash is not... it goes really far anyway. It's not really instant. Nice. Oh, it was too late. This could easily turn around. Yang's like 1 EX Rekka from winning. Alright, nice. Was that jump medium kick? Top secret Necro normal. It's one of them normals that no one would hit in their right mind. He could have cancelled that back medium kick anti-air into electricity and it would have been sick as hell. Back jab, meaty. That feels horrible. Why would you go for that? Back strong like does the same thing, I think, except back strong confirms the super, and back strong can't be paid low. He didn't have super, so it wasn't a huge deal. And back strong is stronger. I guess back jab is a little bit safer against parry, barely. That stun will probably not be a huge factor. Jesus, 2 dashes. Alright, now that stun could be a factor, because he could get Denjin and then do a block string into... Ooh, that would have been pretty dangerous if it hit, though. That's how it goes. Hi. Double low parry. I don't think there's any advantage of doing low parry versus high parry versus drill. If anything, it seems a little bit more stressful because between the low parries, you're going to get taller. Hi. I would always parry that high if it was me, I think. I must never go for drill parries though, but in that matchup, Aura versus Necro, it's not something I really have to worry about. He tried to DP. A little premature. Not a horrible idea. Oh no! Oh, you hate to see it. He thought the mirror was right about to disappear, but it was still there. And then he bumped himself in the face with his own fucking fireball. Truly, truly Denjin Ryus do not think. We all knew it, but just it's crazy to see it and see it live like that. I mean, obviously, they picked Denjin Ryu because they didn't want to think. That's the whole reason they play this character. Pick the lowest IQ character on the roster. Ironically, oh, nice, that hit the... Ironically, Denjin Ryu has quite a lot of strategy. The character who needs to think the least is probably Chun-Li, honestly. I would say she's the one who plays the game the least. Instead, she forces you to play a much more simplified version of the game, where she wins. Nice, very tip. That was pretty safe, I think. Excellently spaced slides. That was probably going to go into like a DP or something, who knows. I don't know, he had like such a big life lead that he shouldn't have been afraid of parries or anything. Most thought? There's like components of Urien that require a lot of thought and also components that require almost none. Like Urien, ooh, with SA1 that's a really common thing to do. With SA2 it looks kind of weird. With Urien, a lot of your stuff is kind of autopilot and you don't really care what your opponent does. So even though he's very technical and difficult, you don't really have to play very reactionary with him for a lot of your long advanced setups. There's different kinds of like what you think. Ooh, I got blown up by that last tournament at Stupid Strike. Low short super anti-air. Ooh. Yeah, Makoto's another character where, and Oro as well, where if they can kind of get their stuff going, they don't really have to play with regards to what the opponent is doing. So you might call that thoughtless, but other parts of Makoto and Oro are quite complex. And same with Urien. Reacting to unique scenarios with the correct thing. Requires quite a big brain, I would guess. So the most thoughtful character might be a character like that. A character who has to anticipate things. Probably like Hugo or something. Back roundhouse to a short dive kick. It's so annoying having a twin jump in your face. Like neutral jump after making you block something. Look at that, low invincibility on back roundhouse. Beautiful. Oh, he got him again. Low short super anti-air. Very strong against jump in parry. Decently strong against jump in button. Depends on the range. Very precise spacing required. Very dangerous though. If the opponent empty jump blocks, you get lit up. There's no actual confirm. It's just strong against the things that people tend to do. That only got the second hit. If Elena parried, she would have only had to parry once. Nice. He might have done that on reaction. The palm is reactable, and the XDP is invincible. Oh, that could have been a super. He could have dead OS that. That would have just been win. That would have been GG. That was confirmed. That was confirmed 2 different ways. 1, you can just raw confirm that, and 2, you can dead OS it. That EXTP was a failed super. I don't know if it would have linked there. His timing was a little funky, but I think it's a really fast super, so maybe it would have worked anyway. But he dropped the input. A lot of dizzy. Necro adds up fast with that dizzy bar. He lands a super right now. He's looking pretty good. Super and a throw will stun maybe. Nice. Parry into block. Yang hadn't committed yet. Well, really good whiff punish. There's a juggle there on some characters. I don't think Necro's one of them though. EX Rekka in the corner. It might only be Q. Necro's one of the easiest characters in the game to juggle. He's like the next easiest after Q. Probably gonna whiff. Yeah, no punish for you. If he had EX, it might have been a punish, but he didn't. Cool juggle. A lot of dizzy on that. Back fierce, back roundhouse. Oh, could go either way. Watch out. Necro lands a super, it's over. Oh. Empty dive kick. What's annoying is if Necro hit any button, that dive kick would have hit. But if he like tried to parry, the dive kick would have whiffed too. Maybe he could have parried and moved forward enough that the dive kick would have hit him and got parried. Empty dive is so good. Oof. He had a much bigger juggle on that than what he got. Close fierce. I labbed it. Close strong does more damage. Close fierce might be more meter build or something like that. There might be some other reason. It didn't matter there, of course. Maybe close fierce is more reliable. I doubt that it's character dependent. There are some combos in this game that are character dependent though. What kind of matches do I tend to find the most entertaining? I love when Aura's on the screen because I main him. I usually like a big body who with awkward movement, like Q or Hugo. Usually very entertaining to watch. I like slow, kind of careful games. Nice, got the overhead super. But there's like a limit on slow and careful. Nice. OS parry, and then that was going to be either dive kick or not. Very difficult situation. Oh my god, make it stop. I hate when twin players are doing that to me. The dive kicks are overheads in this game too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you can't even, I can't even sit on a down charge while they're doing that. I got pineapple juice the other day. Grand pineapple. I never get that flavor. And now here I am drinking it. Man, it's nice. I want to say... No, I don't know. Maybe not. Dive kicks are generally plus in this game, but you can still have bad ones. Ryu's playing versus twins well. Wow, look at that. Little donkey kick combo. This is that Ryu with the SA2! SA2 versus twins! Hype! Everyone was fucking hype as hell about this Ryu and his cool gameplay. Love this Ryu. Ah, that would have almost ended the round if you fucking landed that. It's the funny thing. The cat, dude, it was there last time too. Damn, he's keeping the corner too. Oh no, he got Yang. There was a Yang round. I think he had to spend that EX to get the Dizzy, and without the Dizzy, it wasn't a guaranteed win. I like the way the jumps work in SF5, generally speaking. I do like air parry a lot. A lot of people hate it. Um, I like the way that there are a ton of characters in SF5 with air throws or air cancels. Or like a normal that causes a juggle state. It's like over half the cast does that shit. It's fun. Aura's got all that. He's got an air throw. He's got a normal that causes. He's got two normals that cause air juggle states. He's got an air cancel. Not that it's really useful to what I can tell. He's got air button into ground stuff. Got the whole shebang. Jesus. Yeah, meeting in midair is a nice way out of that little scenario. Make Yang players fucking go away. I really liked in Cross Tekken where air airs could lead to combos. Or like anti-airs in the right context. A lot of anime fighting games have that too. You get your towards A and then you get a juggle. I would like for that to come back. Or even be exemplified in SF6. It was really cool when you got to kind of hit air to air and cross Tekken and then you got this big old combo. See, that was a very high dive kick, but it Ryu did reversal throw. He was out of throw range. You can actually juggle an SA2 there. Yang didn't quite have the meter at the time, and it's not really worth going for most of the time. But it's kind of cool. It's a cool juggle. Stay medium kick, roll, and then super. It works even if the opponent's grounded, but it's easier if they're airborne. Oh, Yang just tried to get the easy kill, and then it didn't kill. I just want to see this Ryu land in SA2. Hi. It's not like I'm super strapped for cash or anything. But, in the process... Wow, that cool reset. In the process of hiring a programmer for my game and discussing various things I wanted him to work on. I went through a decent amount of money. That's not a lot. This guy's dirt cheap. Most of the people quoted me for like 25, like $30 per hour. This guy was like 10 or 15. And I was like, ooh, it's nothing. Oh, wasn't in punish in time. But then before I knew it, I'd accumulated 15 hours. It was just like, whew. If I'm not careful, I can pay this guy a fortune. Gotta have a nice priority list. So I can just easily have him go straight to work on something. 3 taunts with Ryu? Oh, 3 taunts with 3 different characters? Ah yes, Yang's makes his damage go up on its following combo. I'm making a platformer. Cinematic, parkour-based 2D platformer. Akin to Prince of Persia or Nosferatu. Ryu speeds up his dizzy recovery. Necro makes next Next combo stronger. Yeah, I hope it'll be good. I never truly stopped working on it, but I stopped programming it. I've like scripted some scenarios in the game. I went back and read one of them recently, and I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of good, if a bit bland." The scenario itself is kind of interesting, but so far the actual dialogue is very like purposeful. It's very little fluff or world building. I'm gonna sneak some of that in eventually. Cool combo. When I first saw Necro gameplay, I saw that combo. When I like first tried to lab him, like 2005 era. And then I was like, I'm gonna main Necro so I can do heavy hammer hook into spinning hook. Heavy spinning hook into back medium kick into medium spinning hook into super, and I'm gonna be so cool. It depends on what you count as a like new mechanic. You can roll. Can't roll in Prince of Persia. There's no animations yet. The game is literally only gameplay and placeholder animations. I'm not gonna have animations like done until I'm dead certain that all the stuff, all the movement is exactly how it's gonna be. I know the next movement thing I want to do. I want to have it so if you sprint towards a wall and then hold up, the character will try to run up the wall. That's not in Prince of Persia. Well, it's in the 3D games, but having it in a 2D game sounds fun. That'll loosely solve some other issues I'm having anyway. Oh, I mean, it's gonna be. I want it to be. Cinematic platformers are not very common of a genre, of a subgenre, but I'm not trying to do anything super new. I just want to do it well. I want to make a game that I would play. Nice. Oh, MC jump. Oh! That was... He stopped blocking. Did he really just try to red? Or did he just, like, massively choke on a dick? That was weird that low short failed to combo to SA2. That must only happen from very far out. Low strong reliably combos to SA2, I think. Maybe not if you hit a limb with another limb. Like a max range low strong. I don't know. I say stuff like that a lot. Maybe not in my more professional YouTube videos. But I don't know if I say that a lot. Nice. MC jumps stand fierce. Wow. Reset him into... Oh my god! He's trying to just catch him blocking. That's such a raw read. Or not raw read, well, a raw play. Just DP in their face. Ryu can't really... Ryu's EX DP is only 2 hit, and spinning meter was, like, not ideal there. He should have done a cancel into that DP. But he was only barely there in time. But, like, low short DP would have been a lot better than fucking just DP by itself. Don't forget that you can parry Ryu, sure you can low as well. Jesus! This Ryu player! Chill! He really just went for fish parry into raw super. He saw a ghost. Yep. He's not doing too well in this video, though. Ryu does a lot of damage with SA2. That's the whole point. You get one parry, you land SA2, you win instantly. Does over half of Yang's health. Yeah, it's just the I only need one opening to win super. Pretty good against Yang, actually, because you already have to go for aggressive parries against him. Might as well make it as rewarding as hell. Salve. Saluton. Oh, I believed. If he was close enough, that would probably have worked, but he didn't get a point blank light spinning hook. That probably hurt the juggle. That Stand Fierce was pretty strange. Wake up back strong. He didn't wait, it's just reversal. That worked from really far out. That was a dash into parry. I do that a lot myself. Necro can super here? Yeah, he did it. Getting another kind of punish was difficult. He probably had Stand Fierce, or like dash Stand Fierce rather. As much as I'd love to complain about Chun-Li, Chun-Li played badly is actually very mediocre. That was a really nice little jump dive there, actually, to kind of get in some space. Necro's being a little suffocated right now. Alright, now he's being completely suffocated. If I was Akuma, I would have just spent the meter. Akuma's meter is not very precious. He had DP super to just kill there. Super meta. Oh, that just punishes? Jesus. Light Tatsu into hard Tatsu is gives you time to taunt. I was gonna say Reversal Super will probably would have punished that, but then he punished it with low forward. Necro's blocked super. Criminal. EX Bird is pretty mediocre. EX Kikoken is extremely mediocre, I think. And regular Kikoken too. The only thing Kikoken does that's useful, I think, is help confirm from back fierce. Nice teleport. Look how far that goes. Very hard for Yang to chase without super. Oof, don't do that. EX legs is good, and regular legs, but they're hard to do on command. And that kind of makes them bad. It's difficult to do them in any context except storing them, but when you can store them, they're good. It's probably safe. I don't even know if you can true block string into it. Oh, missed parry timing? That was a good fireball to put up because Yang was Yang kind of had to parry because his HP was so low he didn't really want to take any chip. And Akuma could get over there fast enough to mix. That would easy if it didn't kill. Akuma can just die if you're not careful, and Akuma was not careful that round. Does Strike Arcade Cabinet have any significant input delay? No, that's the whole reason people play on it. I forget the amount. It's like 2.5 or 3. It's a very small amount. It's like what you would expect. I want to say that Justin didn't have the meter for an EX Kikoken, but I don't actually remember. That often gets suggested that he could have done EX Kikoken SA2. It's also a little bit scary because, like, if you do EX Kikoken SA2, there's a possibility the opponent reacts to the EX Kikoken and jumps, and then the SA2 whiffs. Oftentimes you don't even block Kikoken, because a lot of the ways that Chun-Li goes into it from normals, the Kikoken just dissipates before it even hits you. Ugh. EX, yeah, EX has a lot of block stun, but I don't know. I don't like it. That's a meme special move to me. It's only a single parry, and it's very slow. Slow is usually good on a fireball, but it doesn't really control space. You need slow on fireballs is good when they can control space. But Chun-Li's fireball, you just swat it away, and that's that. It's hard for her to really mix you up while it's approaching. They're not charged fireballs, they're half circle. Nice, that's a punish, huh? On 4 Rekkas. Chun-Li's only charged move is Spinning Bird. Nice combo, big old dizzy. I think they've never truly been satisfied with Chun-Li in any Street Fighter game they've made. She's had a lot of archaic stuff that they've had to slowly get rid of. For example, you can't have a character that just rides on big throw range, like, and have them be fun or fair. Every new game, they save a lot of the stuff they like and then bring in just wild new ideas. She's definitely supposed to be an all over the place kind of character. She's supposed to just ride her good good pokes. She's supposed to win in neutral. Is the idea, and then make her a little mediocre elsewhere. But they do different flavors of mediocre every game. Usually it's kind of weak combo options or something like that. She definitely feels the most out of place in this game. I'd agree with that in a heartbeat. But they had to, like, you know, bring back Chun-Li. She's a returning character. So they couldn't just, like, completely... Because she's not a new character, they couldn't just go completely wild. I like the SF3 Chun-Li we got. It feels like a nice nod to all the things she's had that were fun in previous games without any of it being broken. You can still, like, win whole games with just staying fierce. Back fierce and shit like that. Back strong, far forward, far roundhouse. The motion legs is nice. The spinning bird combos are nice. Oh, that combo's cool as hell. It's sad that he dropped it. Love that combo. Or low forward. Feels good. That's... he re-wanted Dudley to parry. That setup is if the opponent parries. But you can't actually... well, you can react, but it's harder. I remember. That shit was stupid. Season 1 was silly. There are a lot of characters. Remember when Nikali was like the kind of like... he was kind of like the summation of SF5 in general. You know what I mean? He was like the quintessential SF5 character. He like perfectly did all the things that were strong in SF5. And I feel like the whole game is just taken a completely different direction. And now he feels very unusual compared to most of the cast. Also, I haven't fought a Nikali player in fucking years. I'm not even joking. It really did. I think Nikali probably still works alright. He's just very uninteresting to most people, I think. Not that long ago. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff I've been doing has been lab work. but I still do like live casuals. Nikali might actually be the most forgettable Street Fighter character of all time. Laura's a bit irrelevant, but at least she has like a nice tournament presence. She's been consistently played for the whole lifespan of the game. Oh yes, the most forgettable Street Fighter character is Maki. Who the fuck is Maki? There you go. It's proof. She does have Tonfa and she does a squat. Maki was one of the characters where a lot of people were asking for. She never made it, because when I say a lot, it wasn't like a lot. Who the fuck is Barry? Has that character ever been playable? Oh, is that like a Street Fighter EX1 character? Barry, these nuts in your mouth! Also, I was thinking of Alan. Damn, I got. Dropped a combo. What the fuck was that? Why the upper? Was that a mistake? Maki is just, we wanted a slightly different flavor of Guy. She's got a lot of moves that are obviously inspired by Guys, but like a little bit different when they actually play out. She also has an air SPD with a 360 motion, and then she also has a fucking lariat. So she's got like a little shades of fucking Geef for some reason. Like a spinning lariat, like fucking Zingy style. I think it's invincible, but I don't actually know. It's gonna be hard to justify Guy and Zeku in the same game. It's gonna be hard to justify Guy having old Zeku's moveset in addition to his own. So they can't really combine the two characters like they have with a lot of other characters. Retsu. I want to say none of the EX characters are canon. Ah, imagine you get a fucking parry like that and you just stand short. When you parry Necro's back fierce, you have the world. Nice, good combo. Tension really strong right now. Oh no! Necro probably timed his parry with the meaty fireball and it didn't hit him. Yeah, I took the question to mean canon in Street Fighter. Yo, do you get the whole combo? Yup. Love that shit. That dizzy bar is looking kind of fucking close. Necro's got a super. Yeah, that's it. It didn't combo. If it was jump roundhouse or jump fierce, it would have comboed. But he jumped strong. He still got it. Necro has good odds. Yeah, he's trying to be unpredictable, I think. But he's taking too much risk. I hope they make another Third Strike parry style game, but I don't know if they ever will. I would love it though. Ah, parries are very fun. Nice, that probably still anti-aired. I want you guys to know that it will be raining for the entirety of my game. I've been thinking about how to do good rain effects. Now I'm looking at the stage and it's just like, that's not good. That's not bad at all. Whole game will take place in one evening / morning. Will it be a sad game? That depends on how the player plays it. Not to massively spoil anything. But I really like the idea that depending on player actions, every single person can die or every single person can live. And I'd probably have lines of dialogue reflecting that. Oh, empty jump, low parry. I wish I did that more. It's not hard to do either. It's hard to motivate yourself to do. It feels you feel very naked doing it. Nice. But it's very good against the common reply to people jumping over your head. Like that. Exactly like that. Nice. No! He got close medium kick, but it didn't launch. It must be because it didn't hit on its first active frame or some nonsense like that. It's hard to think of another explanation for what just happened. Nice. Twin neutral, you have to super jump that, the close medium kick, or else you can't. You can't like regular jump cancel. You have to super jump cancel. And twins actually move backward a little bit during their neutral super jump. Prince of Persia is a game I'm very nostalgic for. I don't know if I call it my favorite platforming game. It's definitely very near and dear to my heart. Damn, Yang just mashed it all out. He was like, you're gonna parry all this. You're gonna parry some of it and then try and punish. Wake up stand strong. You condition people to do wake up low parry by mashing meaty lows. DKC, I don't even like that much. DKC 1 is a bit weird to go back and play. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. It's okay. DKC 2 and 3 are much better, though. Like, there's so many little differences with the way that DKC works. Like the way that they change bonus games across the 3 games, or like hidden areas, stuff like that. Collectibles. But I was recently playing DKC 1, and I realized I don't like the level design as much. Oftentimes, like, you're kind of running, and then, like, the screen will, like, not scroll fast enough, and you'll kind of run straight into an enemy, and stuff like that. I've never played DKC 2 on stream, I don't think, but I have played 3 at least once. 3 is my favorite. A lot of people like 2 the best. A lot of people like 2 then 1 then 3, but I like 3 then 2 then 1. Love that combo. It looks like it should fall out, and then it doesn't. It's very weak, though. Ooh! 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 Oh, what went wrong? Oh my god. Wake up low short super. I actually think that's very smart. I think the bonus stuff in DKC 2 and 3 is one of the best parts of the game. DKC1, I basically treat it like it doesn't exist because the game just doesn't acknowledge it. You just get exclamation points and a slightly different line in the ending. Top platformers that I like. That's hard to say. A lot of Mario games are nice. Mario World 1 and Yoshi's Island and stuff like that. .2D platformers that I love. I gotta think about that. I just have like a kind of generally positive opinion about 2D platformers in general, but it's hard to think about like one that I'm just like, holy shit, this is great. Bad Dungeon. Oh, what I was gonna say about Low Short Super though is that the various things that loses to, it loses with the Low Short not even coming out. So if the Low Short even comes out, it's probably not gonna be blocked. I never played Celeste, but I've always been meaning to. I played a game by the same guy, or by one of the same guys. The Mike Makes Games or whatever. It was Untitled Story. I played that game and loved it a lot, and I found out that guy went on to fucking work on Celeste or make Celeste or whatever. And I was just like, shit. I played a bunch of games of his, but I never played that one. But he has like mastered the jump. He has the best jump of all 2D platformers I've ever played. And he has it in a bunch of his games. He is a master of jumping. I've played Spelunky, it's good. I've never beaten it. I've gotten to floor like 11. I don't know the furthest I've gone. I can like reliably get to like the 3rd tier, but then I just choke. But I've never like sat down and really tried to beat it. I just played it when my friends were over back in the day. Hollow Knight is a game I'm meaning to play forever. I just haven't. Looks like 2D Dark Souls. I've also been meaning to play what's that game? Momodora 4. Reverie Moonlight, whatever. Oh, very meaty. Ryu's Towards Strong has a shitload of active frames for some reason. So you can get it really, really fucking meaty. And then link weird stuff out of it. Like, I think it links to low forward on a standing opponent if you get it meaty enough. That's how many active frames it has. Definitely on the crouching opponent. Super Metroid is an extremely good... I didn't even think about Metroid. Metroid Fusion is probably my favorite of the Metroid games. It's definitely dragged down by the computer sections, especially when you replay. I don't really care about the linearity that much. It's kind of a novelty to me that you can even do zero mission out of order. And I'm not even really sure there is an order for Super Metroid. Kirby games are great. Return to Dreamland, Planet Robobot, Superstar. Those are some of my favorite platformers of all time. A lot of people just bash Nintendo for being baby shit or low quality or whatever. But it's like hard to think of a 2D platformer that's better than a lot of the Nintendo ones. Very high quality in my opinion. Castlevania, yes. I liked all of them actually. All the ones I played. Oh, Coaching Elena. Order of Ecclesia is my favorite. But I also really like Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, Castlevania 3, Castlevania 1 I guess. What else? Circle of the Moon is good I guess. I don't know what Dead Cells is. Anti-air slide. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Jump back, strong, fierce. Very strong anti-air. This is strong. This is a nice Elena play. He could have parried that. If you're watching for that, you can parry it. Oof. I hate when people do that to me. Punish. Rare footage of a punish on twin command grab. There we go. See, look, he was waiting. He was ready. Ah. Parried the stand roundhouse and then low forward and it whiffed. That's nasty. This is scary. I like it for Yang. No, I love it for Yang. Okay. Yeah, low HP Yang is king. I think it's just healing people hate, not Elena. I think a lot of people like her design. I'd certainly like her to come back. She didn't have healing in Cross Tekken. And also, she was in Cross Tekken. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know that. I want to say she was in Cross Tekken before she was in SF4. She wasn't in launch Cross Tekken, but she was in the 2012 update, 2013 update. And then I think they brought her to SF4 from Cross Tekken. Fun fact. Nice. I don't remember what her super was in Cross Tekken. Yes, almost all of it was. Ultra was probably made on a budget of shoestring based on what we got. Oh! Oof. God, I love Shinshoryu Ryu. I feel like SFX-T2 would be one of the greatest fighting games Capcom could ever make. If they just like gave us the good stuff and took away the bad stuff. That game was dying for like a CVS2 mode. And I don't mean like anything like CVS2, I just mean like the transition from CVS1 to CVS2. Cross Tekken would have loved something like that. Just like one version to just fucking iron out everything. It's a Yun. Oh, if you do heavy slashes versus twins and you're very close, you'll pass through them. We just saw that it's a bug. Maybe. Like the way. Was that deliberate? He dashed over Yang's body. I feel like it might have been. What? Was that a failed super? It had to be, right? Well, that was a series of good reads anyway. Jesus, activate! Thank you. It's like he was trying to lose. Don't save your meter. You should have done that way sooner. Yeah, you don't see that whole thing get parried very often. The vibes are alright. Damn, fuck Yun. How come he just gets that? Nice. This Yun has, An interesting style. He's being more conservative with this meter than most young players, I think. There, now we're watching him kind of go back and grind some. And he was going for like mix-ups instead of just like activating meaty a lot. There we go. More like it. Oh, could have died there. Not really, because Elena didn't really have anything to go into. Background house to dodge a throw. Oh, look at that. Double low strong combo. I think that's crushing opponents only. Either that or it's like frame perfect. Pretty sure it's crushing opponents only. Love watching Yun whiff low strong when he's got full bar. I don't really like the dive kick there. I understand why Yun players do it, but I don't like it. I think Yun players should basically only do like walk forward, low short stuff. Anything else is just an overcommitment, I think. You should just focus on the shit that's the most broken. You really have no counterplay against Yun just doing like walk in low short, walk in low short. And then the nanosecond he gets a hit, it's like fierce towards fierce. Ooh. That's usually a mistake by Atlanta players. That was actually punishable. Yun just missed it. Probably wasn't expecting it to fall out. I don't blame him. I wasn't either. Most of Atlanta's special moves are pretty mediocre. They're all very combo unfriendly. The only one that's combo friendly is the only ones that oh, there it is. Anti-air low short. Only one that's combo friendly is DP. Did he give up? That looked like him giving up. Oh, that was a full jumping combo that Elena just missed. He probably parried on the way in, and then just expected to be parrying, and did delayed button, because you after you do an air parry, you hit the button a little bit later. Did that just grab an empty low short? Like a low short anti-air? Maybe Elena player did it too early. Nice. He had super on landing, I think. Oh. Yang can get cool juggles out of that. It's JP1, so you get some pretty nice stuff. I'm getting raided with a party of 7. Hi. Times 7. Hello. I don't know if I'd call her my main. She's just fun. She's very different from Oro. And if I'm ever, like, you know, kind of feeling something different in SF3, I just want to kind of take a completely different direction. Difficult to win, yeah. Yang was very, very, very weak to a red parry there. Oh, it ended. Or did it? This is a different series of videos. Not just a different video, but a different, like, from a different day. So that might be different players. Dudley SF6. Yeah. Good odds. Very good odds. I think at least 60-70%. Nice. That's a 2-frame super, baby. Rather hits on frame 2. Ah, that TC. First hit must be parried low, second hit must be parried high. It's just an anti-parry TC. Blows up people who are doing wake up parry. Fancy punish. And it's over. God, those stars are moving fast. That Dudley was mashing. He almost got out, I'm sure. That looked kind of funny. Oh, he went for optimal and dropped it. That's like mid-screen max damage. Nice. He's alive. Meaty super? Whoa! Was that neutral jump to bait wake up super? Yang doesn't really do reversals that much. Nice. That was good against any jump because most people wouldn't be parrying there. It beats throw. It was a true mix-up of throw. Empty jump throw versus empty jump EXDP. Very tricky situation, especially when you're dead to chip. Nice. That's crouching opponent only, maybe? Right? Maybe not. Was he crouching there? I didn't see. Pretty cool looking. Does a lot of damage. That was the anti-parry TC again, but it actually fell out. Just due to range. Nice. There we go. Optimal. Very beautiful combo too. Invariably, new fighting games are just mediocre because they haven't had like a history of balanced patches, and they've got a lot less content than the ones that have been patched over and over. Fighting games just get better over time. I've seen it time and time again. Every time there's a new fighting game, it's attacked for being devoid of content. And they're always attacked for dumbing down the genre too. The only fighting game I can think of that I played that wasn't attacked when it was new was Street Fighter 4. And the only reason is because a lot of people either came in from Street Fighter 2 or came in from not having played a fighting game before. Or at least not a Street Fighter. Street Fighter 4 was very unique because it came in the middle of a very long drought. It's not that there were no fighting games, it's that there were no popular fighting games. For like a decade or two. I fooled around with Under Night like one time. It seemed really good though. It's hard to make interesting. It's hard to even theorize what interesting single player content would be for a fighting game. Trial mode is good. I've played occasionally some robust trial modes. Usually it's very low effort. Look at KOF 14 trial mode versus KOF 13 trial mode. Trial mode in KOF 13 is one of the best trial modes I've ever seen. I also really like the Blast Blue ones, especially like by Chrono Phantasma. It's got an excellent trial mode. World Tour was fun, right? Or like, what was it called in Soul Calibur 2? When you're just going around fighting comms. And you get new weapons and shit. What was that mode called? Someone here knows. Was it just something boring like adventure mode? That's sad. I just want you guys to know I got my COVID vaccine booster. And I had no side effects. It was Soul Calibur 2. I haven't really heard. I mean, back when the vaccine was first kind of being a thing, a lot of people were discussing the vaccine side effects and everyone was super nervous about it. But I had I'd never heard even anyone say anything about the booster. Weapon Master mode. Or just Venture mode with Weapon Master. I don't know. I remember Weapon Master. I remember that being part of it in the name. Forgot all about that. I remember everyone had they made like 10 different swords for every character, which was really fun. Or 10 different weapons, I should say, since, you know, Soul Calibur. They did that with Dissidia too. All the characters in Dissidia have a bunch of different weapons they can use. Soulful. Dizzy. It might turn into an every 6 months thing. There's not a lot of data on the long-term, like, lasting power of the vaccines, obviously. Because they've only been out for like a year. It's crazy watching what COVID does to you, though. You're just helpless. I'm not at risk per se. I'm doing it more like a community service thing. My job interacts with the public a lot. So I've got a very high probability of getting it from someone and also giving it to someone else. But really, the main thing that kind of convinced me to get it is just that I don't think anyone's going to miss it. You know what I mean? Like, there seems to be like a glut of vaccines. There was a point when they were really like precious and like everyone was trying to get one. But I think they made way more than the number of people who actually want them. So I didn't really feel like I was denying anyone a vaccine by getting it. I can't think of a time where I've been cucked by a corporation, but it's definitely happened. I've seen people like intubated or put on ventilators and stuff, and it's horrible. A lot of people just have zero exposure to that. A lot of people just have no idea what happens to you when you get COVID. A lot of times they'll basically just put you into like a fucking controlled coma. You can't really intubate a conscious person. It's very invasive. Nice, that pickup. Does that just work on Dudley? Who does that work on? That can't be a universal combo. But I don't remember like what characters it's good for. But he did light spinning hook into down back fierce, and I feel like it's not like something Necro always gets. Super punish there. Hard to punish besides that. Well, I mean, Stand Strong might have been able to punish. When's the last time I got fucked over by Corporation? I can only think of really minor times. One time I went to Taco Bell, and they ordered cinnamon twists, among other things. And then I got home and there were no cinnamon twists. And then I fucking put my fist in the sky and shook it. Everyone's so afraid of like long-term side effects of the vaccine, but I don't know. Long-term effects of the virus seem kind of more pressing. Not to mention the vaccine's out of your body just destroys the vaccine after so and so period. I forget the amount of time, but it's like weeks. It's not like it's living inside you forever. Well, we have a good idea of some of the long-term effects of the virus, and they're horrible. Look at that. Stay medium kick, low short, stay medium kick. Weird. Damn, I had nothing. Bad luck. Yeah, I got it because I live with my mom. And she's, old. She's an age where it could kill her. Love to see it. Great combo. Nothing changed for me. I wouldn't even know I got the shot if my fucking arm didn't hurt the day after. But it was just like, not even really hurting. It was just like, if I moved it, I could kind of feel it. And then it went away, and that was that. Look at that TC towards medium kick. Roundhouse Fierce or whatever. The TC from the step punch. Nice. But after recovering from just the jab itself, I've been fine. I've been hearing that a lot of the potential side effects of the vaccine have been caused by like a misinjection. Like it's supposed to be like an intramuscular injection, and if it goes to the wrong spot, it can do some minor things. But whoever stuck me did a good job. I got a flu shot at the same time as my COVID booster. I was like, give me one, give me both. I literally asked the lady, I was like, am I dumb for wanting both of them at the same time? And she's like, no. A lot of people are doing that. And I was just like, okay, let's go. I don't think I'll really need a flu shot, but I've had flu and it sucks. I get the flu shot every year just cause, but I don't really know if it's necessary right now since flu is on the serious, like, on the down low. Not on the down low. What do you call that? It's on the way out. Flu is having a really hard time right now because of social distancing. Yeah, decline, sure. It's like a term I wanted, but I don't know what it was. Nice. That actually whiff punished the fucking close medium kick. Oh, Dudley just knocks you over and he just has some fun. The most painful shot I ever got was tetanus. I've had that a few times. You get that one once every 10 years. It wasn't that bad though. No shot is bad. I didn't give a shit. I remember freaking out about shots in elementary school, and now I'm just like, yeah, do your worst. Glad I finally hit this point. I used to dream about it. Used to be like, oh man, I wish I could get to a point where I just didn't care about pain. I'm there. It's not that bad. Yeah, I'm so badass for getting a shot. At the end of the day, it just doesn't hurt that much. Okay. I still don't like watching the needle go in. What's funny is there's a good chance that I'll have to give people a bunch of shots. You have to be able to administer a shot for being an X-ray tech because of iodine, the contrast agent. Gonna have to be that person who puts needles into other people. I have a story about one time when I went and got my blood taken. I had very low blood pressure. I still have very low blood pressure. But in particular, I had super low blood pressure in my high school. And one time they jabbed me and like the vein like wouldn't fill up the vial for the amount of blood they needed. And because of the sanitation, because of the way that they do it, they can't just put on a new needle and use the same like blood like tube, so they have to start again from scratch or some bullshit. So they had to take out the needle and then stick me somewhere else. And I think they ended up using the back of my hand, which is, you know, if you've ever had a shot in the back of your hand, it's kind of painful. I had I think 90/60, and the doctor was like kind of impressed. Impressed might not be the right word. He's like, that's pretty low. That's like that's still healthy, but only barely. Got that hypotension. That like never gets all the hits. Jesus. He really parried the jump in and then just jumped again. Low blood pressure is not typically very dangerous from what I can tell. Not a lot of stuff associated with it. Nice. He got like that max range low roundhouse where it hit a limb, and he still got the ducking upper. What's Ligma? Nice. Was that a red? Shit. Fancy. He probably didn't even want that. Real MLG is red parrying every other hit of your opponent's super. Block parry, block parry, block parry. Iron deficiency anemia. Can't you just eat iron? I think that's literally what they do. They just prescribe you iron. And that's that. Dropping the last parry. That was me! That was me in that recent tournament versus Burfy. Where I parried almost all of Elena's SA2, and then I ate the last like 2 hits. And I wanted to kill myself. And then I lost the round and the tournament. I was so close because the combo I had there, if I killed him, or I mean if I parried the whole thing, I maybe could have killed him with the combo, the punish. There was some place, it might have been like rural Vietnam, or something like that, where humanitarians distributed iron fish. There was like some place in Southeast Asia, I'm pretty sure, where everyone had like iron deficiencies there, just because of the local like food just was very low in it. And there were like iron fish, and people were told to cook and put the iron fish in their soup, and it like gave them the trace iron that they needed. People were like rejecting the medicine, and then it was like, here's a good luck charm that you put in your soup, and then you won't get sick. And people were kind of into that. It was like, yeah. I forget the country though. I want to say it was Southeast Asia. Somewhere. I'm sure there's a story. If you like Google, you'll find like iron fish soup, some bullshit like that. He swims in your soup and makes you healthy. Interesting. Whoa, that whiffed. Spin hook is +1, baby. Light spin hook. Reversal spin hook on wake up? Was that a failed super? That was super weird. It was a very bad decision. Probably not what he wanted. God, the rejumps. Twin rejumps. It's hard to find like good counterplay against this. This Yang is super good, but also I'm a little disgusted to see good Yang, you know what I mean? It's like I acknowledge it's good, but like, yo, bring a Q on or something. What they call him, Young? Ugh, this jump. Okay. Yan. Yan. The funny thing about Yan and Yang is almost everyone likes them, but it's like a begrudging like. Almost everyone's a bit strong, but they are very popular. It's like, man, they're so busted. People like complaining about them too, for sure. Man, they just rush you down. You can't do anything. It's like, low key though, I kind of like them. They're very cool character designs. And getting rushed down isn't that bad of a feeling, I feel. A lot of people prefer to get rushed down than to get outzoned. Oh. Oh! Blocking Dudley's extremely unsafe DP. That combo's kind of hard to hit. Oh my god, he won? Almost. Oh, he won. That should have been over. He didn't take any damage after his DP wasn't punished, I don't think. Nice. Love that combo. Mistimed it a little bit. Meaty low run house. It's difficult to find a good timing for low run house. It's always very committal. Nice. Ducking super. When is Capcom gonna make a rush up character? Let's check HD edition. I have no opinion whatsoever on that. I don't give a shit. This game looks beautiful. And it could even look more beautiful if they tried to put in some money. But I just don't give a fuck about appearance. If they put in a balance patch or something like that, I'm all ears. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to know how they're going to do it and what they're going to do. But, if it's just visuals, it's like, whatever. I can already play this game. KC Remix did have different balance. It was novel. The thing is, it was still very unbalanced. Even with all the fixes they tried to have. It was interesting, though. A lot of people wrote it off immediately. It's like, oh, they made my favorite character shitty. But a lot of the characters were, like, still strong. I feel like that might have got patched out. I don't remember. I don't even remember what allowed that. He red parried last hit. Failed. Hard for Dudley to punish that. Probably impossible in that range. Fourth clash. It's gotta be fourth down. I like the execution stuff in HG Mix. A lot of stuff was kind of hard to do in ST. They made it a lot easier. Like 2-button dives from T-Hawk and I think DP motions for Tiger Knees. And I think it was like a half circle for Chicken Wing. Stuff like that. Like a lot of execution stuff was way better. Way easier. Tiger Knee had a very awkward motion before, and so did Chicken Wing. Whoa. Forward Strike I like a lot, but I haven't played it that much. I just like the idea of it. I played it a little bit, and I did pretty well. But it's not very interesting for Oro. Most of his changes are just to make his combos consistent on everyone. Bungus is here. Bungus, I almost asked you if you want to play Final Fantasy tonight, and then I didn't. Sad, huh? I thought about chess too. Didn't ask you that either. I know, I'm crying. I'm free tomorrow though. It's gonna go under. Dude. Yeah, Oro just got consistency. His new air fireball was kind of a meme. New command jump. Definite possibility. My dad used to always say that. It's always been a funny phrase to me because it's an oxymoron. Well, it's not really an oxymoron, but it's redundant. Saying a definite possibility and saying a possibility are just the exact same thing. The word definite does nothing at all. But that's the joke, right? It'll be fourth swing because an impact is caused by a strike, and a strike is caused by a swing. I'm so afraid of doing parry and then not getting my punish that I just like overcommit every time I parry. I parry one thing and then I hit a button and then it's like, oops, it was a 2-hit attack, and I'm just like, oh well. But I've got a five frame launcher. So anytime I parry, I just want to land that. Uncertain where something is a possibility or not. That still just sounds like it's a possibility. If it's like there might be a chance that we could do something, or there might not be a chance that we could do something, that's still just there's a chance that we can do something. A chance may or may not exist. Ah, this could turn around. Next hit can win. Not that hit though. That didn't even combo. I mean, usually that doesn't combo, but it looked good that time. It's rare that it does combo. Alright, both these characters probably not going to get stunned. Necro had super confirm. Oof. Oof, that electricity should have ended the game right there. Alright, there we go. He tried to down Fierce. It's the secret Necro normal. There's not much interesting stuff in Forward Strike unless you play unless you play a bottom half character. So it's hard to sell. It's hard to sell that game to people unless they play bottom half characters. Oro has like a couple new things to play around with. The new SA1 is kind of a meme. It's fun to mess around with, but it's not that good. It's definitely not as good as his other two supers, even with the massive buffs it got. And then the comboing to air throw is good, but it's not super interesting. It's just, you know, new forward throw is good, but not interesting. Chicken combo working on all characters is good, but not interesting. It's like Oro has like no like for fun changes except the SA1 stuff, and it's not enough to convince me to pick SA1. Well, I like just in casuals rather. I would pick it. Damn, Sephric's here too. Anti-air back medium kick. I'm sure he was going to buffer out electricity if it was parried. Ooh, look at that. He was like, yeah, don't attack my ankles. Everyone has an air dash. They replace all dashes with they just randomize the dashes from oh, yo, he did it. He did the double super. One hit only, but that's all he needed. Omega male. Is that an insult? Am I being insulted? The study on wolves that alpha and beta comes from, beta was used incorrectly, and they meant to use omega. Or like not the people who did the study used omega, and people took away beta as meaning what the people who did the study took omega to mean. Is Ibuki low tiered? Not really. Ibuki's like outside the tier list. Ibuki doesn't really beat the low tiers, and she doesn't really lose to the high tiers. Her worst matchup is probably 4-6, and it's probably versus Chun-Li. She probably has a 4-6 versus Yon too, actually. Every other character is pretty even. Yeah, I've heard the study's been debunked thoroughly, but even disregarding that, beta was like completely misappropriated. Urian is not a bad matchup for Ibuki, I don't believe it. Look at the fucking momentum on that. There's not a character in this game who loses to Urian. There are only characters who lose to Aegis. And Ibuki's options against Aegis are like exactly the same as everyone else. Oh, you hate to see it. From what I heard, the wolves that were being described as alphas and betas were just parents. It was like they would see a wolf pack where all the wolves were doing this. They were following the lead of like the oldest one, and then it just turned out it's like, oh, this is the dad and the mom. That's all right. It's fucking a godlike player. Nice. I got my shit pushed in by wow, what's his face? Issei. That time I lost like 40-1, but I got the one. I'm capable of. I threw it. I threw the spear at Xerxes, and he bled. Did a lot better versus Mester that time I fought him. That was... what the fuck just happened? Collected up wolves that didn't know each other and watched them in a pen. Wow. Shit. There's one where it was like... There's some study somewhere where it's like wolf parents ended up being the family ended up being the defining feature of the relationships rather than the existing pecking order. If an experiment can't be replicated, it's a shitty experiment. And there are a shitload of experiments that can't be replicated. I'm not saying that's one of them. That one's just a bad methods one. But a lot of studies that are really famous like have had people like try and replicate the results and fail. Oof, heavy DP. You should have just done it. You got the heavy DP, you should have super 2. Fuck it. You're already waking up with heavy DP below the meter. That was wake up forward dash. Oh, looks good. Beautiful. That super hits on frame 2. I think the experiment where they had the people with the box that like electrified an unknown target. I think that one has been replicated successfully by a bunch of different groups, if memory serves. It sounds like bullshit, and then it's like it's been retested and it was good every time it was tested. Something like that. You guys know about that one? You're like told to electrify an unknown person, and then yeah, I think it was milligram. That sounds like it. Nice.
Are you ready? Go.
It's funny because people hear about that one and they're like, I wouldn't have done it, like invariably, and then it's been replicated a lot of times, and it's like every person does it. It must be nice to have shoulder low forward. That's all I can think when I see that. It's like, oh, let me fully block the super and then just low forward punish it. It's like, ugh. Wish I could do that. I like going on nice long walks. I jog too. What are some other hobbies I have? Oh yes, I make videos. That's still gaming related though, isn't it? Love me some chess. That's not a video game.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Restand hard kick is one of the best fucking normals that no one talks about. I agree. You're right, it is slept on. Well, replayers know. That's not true. Anyone can analyze a chess match. They just need help from a machine. It's easy as fuck to analyze a chess match. I'll do it right now. I'll just boot up Stockfish. And then anytime I see a move that I'm like, why didn't they play that move? I'll just fucking do the move myself, and Stockfish will be like, this is dumb because. Who out of the Third Strike cast would cook the best dinner? I was gonna say Dudley, but I feel like he doesn't do his own cooking. I gotta think about that. Chun-Li is a decent one, yeah. Elena I like too. Ibuki would cook a garbage dinner. Makoto as well. Makoto would just give you vegetables. Akuma would give you a fucking papaya. He's like, here's dinner. And then you would look at his plate and it would just be like 8 papayas. Tonight with Akuma, we're having pears. Just no other food, just pears. Yeah, bland healthy food is definitely Makoto. Ryu would also give you pears. Ryu would give you apples. Akuma would throw the chicken into the air and he would Hadoken it, and you would like sit there wondering whether it was safe to eat. He would kill it with a Hadoken. He would Raging Demon it. He would like just like slide over to the chicken, the whole world would turn black, and then there would just be he would be standing with his back to you, and the fucking tent on his back, and then there'd be a fucking dinner plate on the ground with fried chicken all over it. And he would be like mitts like that, shush like that.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Twins would probably both be good cooks. I feel like they probably do like cooking chores here and there. They probably make a hella nice like fucking stew. Cooking tier list. Alright, I'll do it. I'll sort the characters by what they would make for dinner and how good it would be. Dinner at Blank's house. She's not a New Yorker, she's a Metro Cityer. I always took Metro City to be like Chicago or something. Is it New York? Do we know? Oh.
You win. Now.
Whoa.
Are you ready? Go.
Oro is a cook? He would make some wild shit. It would look nasty, but it would be like the tastiest thing you'd ever eaten. Be like fucking chicken feet on a plate. When you take a bite and you're like, holy shit. Or probably would be the best cook, like thinking about it. Goodness is sus. Q, what are we having for dinner tonight? And then he punches you in the face. And then when you're reeled over, he like fucking smashes the top of your head with both fists. Technically, he says shoshi.
You win. Fighters ready. Engage.
Knuckle sandwich, that's it. Ah, he could have parried that. Easy parries. Not necessary because it's already unsafe.
Fighters ready. Engage.
I'll have you know we don't know that Q and G are the same person. Rare footage of Dudley getting a dizzy. Dudley would be like, I don't know.
Alright, that's cool.
He would know what good food was.
Now.
You know what I mean? That's gotta count for something.
Into the heat of the battle. Go.
Like, maybe he never cooks for himself, but I guarantee he knows how to use, like, a fucking oven. Or a stovetop. Oh my god. Was that a bait? Why is Dudley so gross? Necro's cooking? Probably decent. Probably vegetable stew.
Prepare to strike. Now.
He's gonna make you some borscht. Oh my. You can't touch a Dizzy Dudley, can you? Or can you? You didn't go for it. I feel like you can. Dudley's one of the long touch of Dizzy characters. Or not long touch. Well, he's like one of the long stun bar characters. And generally Makoto can't touch of Dizzy them. But I think there's a couple that she can touch of Dizzy even despite the fact that they have the long stun bar because she gets like a unique juggle on them. And I think Dudley might be one of them.
Are you ready? Go.
Imagine being so rich that your butler has a butler. That's how you know you made it. Nice confirm. Just outsourcing. Just being a middleman. They pay you $100 and then you pay some other guy $60. And then you take the thing that the $60 guy made, you give it to the guy who paid you $100, and you're middlemaning. I know, dude. Must be nice. I can't even put together two light normals. Oro has like no grounded combos. Oro's only light link is close jab into far short, which is a one frame link that does nothing. Ken can 100% make pasta. If you ask Ken to make anything, he won't know how to do it. But if you ask him to make pasta, he'll make the best pasta you've ever had. Alex, I can see Alex being real good on a grill, to be honest. Give Alex some fucking burger patties. He'll do it. He'll knock your ass out. Yeah, mean ribs. Third strike character has the longest name. Wow, that's a weird thought. I gotta think about all of them. Ah yes, Chun-Li. Hyphen counts. Ah yes, 12. I gotta think about all the characters. This is difficult. They all have short names. Wow. It was my answer, but I was trying to think of one that was longer. Ken Masters! We only know a few last names. Who's to say that it's not fucking Ryu Schwarzenegger? Ryu had a last name in the movie? Or like the show or something. They gave him like a random last name somewhere. It was Hoshi. Ryu Hoshi. Nice DP. Stop. You stalling? That's horrible. These long ones too. Yeah, Ken had a last name just to differentiate him from Ken from Barbie. Yeah, 12 in one of the versions of the game is misspelled. Somewhere. They like put an extra E in it. 12. I don't remember where that was. Ryu from Streets is canon. Hugo and or actually genuinely might be canon. Chun-Li, does she have an actual last name or is that like a fucking a movie thing or what. There was a Chun-Li Zhang somewhere. It might have been the movie. Chun-Li is the last name.
Final round. Go for it.
Neko's first name is Ilya. We don't know his last name. I was replaying Path of Radiance recently, and it made me laugh that the only character with the last name is Jill. And it's just like, well, every single character in this game theoretically has a last name. We just never learn any of them. And there's a couple kind of awkward moments where it's like a last name would probably be a useful way of communicating something here.
Are you ready? Go.
Yeah, Akuma's last name is Instant Hell Murder. Akuma Matata. That's it. That's the one. Akuma Goki. Canonize this. They should do that.
Engage.
Fuck it. But then Goken would be Goken Goki. Akuma just means demon, and Goki just means strong demon. It's like the same shit. Akuma's more on the nose. Nice. Show me that 4-hit combo. Damn, sad.
Win.
I missed it, but there must have been a 2-hit combo earlier.
Fighters ready. Engage.
I think a really big part of Akuma's appeal overseas was that you can't understand what he's saying. It's kind of more menacing. People like stuff like that. Like Martha in Smash Melee. Speaking Japanese. A lot of people love that. Minna! Mite te kure.
Enter the heat of battle. Go for it.
I told one of my friends that Shungokusatsu is literally like instant hell murder, and he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life.
Engage.
He's like, all this time, that's what he's been saying. Well, it's not like he says it. Instant hell murder. The Shun is like Blink, I think. It's the same as the Shun in Ishungeki or Ishun Sen, whatever.
You win. Now. Fighters ready. Engage.
The Vega and Balrog being changed as well is because they could have just swapped 2 characters. The reason they swapped 3 characters was because Vega was seen as being too weak of a name for the dictator. And Vega is an actual Spanish last name, so they're like, let's just call the fucking Spanish guy with the Spanish last name. I have but one question. Is Guile the first name or the last name? I always kind of took it to be the first name, but it's not really a name at all. And the movie had him as William F. Guile.
Go.
Charlie is unrelated to anyone. One of my friends one time came at me and he was like, technically Gal could be pronounced Julie. And I was like, that's the most cursed thing I've ever heard. Gal and Nash are just fucking war buddies. Not related. I don't think we actually have lore on how Abel knew Nash. I think the supposed theory everyone had was that Shadaloo were experimenting on Nash. But now I'm not even sure if that's true because I don't know if it was Shadaloo or fucking Illuminati. No, honestly, I don't even remember the connection between Shadaloo and the Illuminati. I thought they were competing. Well, maybe not competing, but like... Is it that Sin splintered off of Shadaloo and that became the Illuminati? Some bullshit like that. Whoa. Sin was either part of Shadaloo or being funded by Shadaloo and then split off. Seth took hold of the operation himself. And the official lore is that Seth is an AI that kind of went haywire. An AI that gained self-awareness. People have been debating what Shadaloo is supposed to mean forever. It's definitely, like, you know, the word shadow. Shadow law is frequently pointed to. It's not really clear if that's what they were trying to do, though. I think in the movie, they were trying to make a country, right? And Bison was trying to fucking create his own sovereign nation called Shadaloo. Sin is my favorite part of FF10. It gets pointed out occasionally that, like, there's basically no lore on what the fuck Shadaloo is supposed to be. SF5 offered a decent amount of lore, showing they have apparently computer hackers, wizards, and ninjas. Why they have those things, I couldn't really tell you. I don't know if he ever possessed Rose. Rose is like the goodness that's been removed from his body or some bullshit. The whole thing is just very silly. I don't know if he actually has wizards or if he just has people dressed as wizards, but they're running around in the fucking Shadaloo stages and in the story mode. I thought Soul Power just was Psycho Power. And Rose just renamed it. Ah, Meaty EX Tatsu. Delete replayers.
You win. Now, prepare to strike. Now.
I think it allowed Goken to survive being demoned. It might have allowed Gen to survive being demon too. Gen also did survive being demon, but I forget his methodology. It might have been emptying his heart. It might have been both of them that happened. It's definitely Goken. Goken did, but Gen might have as well. I think Gen's lore is that he like emptied his fucking... He like absolved himself of fucking guilt. Because Shungokusatsu does more damage the more guilty you are. And he was just like, I forgive myself. And then he was fine. He's like, yeah, I'm a hired killer, but I forgive myself, so it's okay. Do you think Akuma tried to SGS Elena and it just didn't work? And he was like, what the fuck? Alright, I'll take a selfie with you. Because obviously I can't hurt you. Every single fighting anything is a ripoff of Hokuto no Ken, if you dig deep enough. It's like when you go to a Wikipedia article and you click the first link in every Wikipedia article, eventually you get to like fucking abstract philosophy. It's like that, but instead it's anime and Hokuto no Ken.
You win. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Shonen as a genre is a ripoff of Astro Boy. We have no lore on Oni and Ora. They've never shared a game. I think all three of his supers are a reference to Tomorrow Joe. Damn, that's cursed. Ingrid being canon depends on whether you think that Cross Tekken is canon, because she was tied to the lore of that game, very loosely. Cross Tekken seems to be canon now that we have now that we have a canon Akuma in Tekken. Did he fall out of that? He did. He shook out of the dizzy in time. Capcom Fighting Gem has no like story mode or anything, and it has a bunch of characters who definitely don't know each other. For example, the Darkstalkers characters plus the Street Fighter characters, who are from radically different points in history. Darkstalkers universe is set like hundreds of years ago. I don't know whether it makes it sound like Warzord, like I don't know if that takes place on Earth. I say two unblockable setups. What the fuck was the favor that Heihachi's wife pulled for Akuma that he owes her? What happened between them? Saved his life? Alright. That probably means he was like a little bit sad. It was like a metaphorical like suicide saved my life. She gave me a reason to live.
Now. Prepare to strike. Now.
Did his taxes on his lemon store. The government were big after him. And she gave him a sloppy jalopy. No, Gen's looking for someone strong enough to kill him. Akuma is the person that Gen found. Gen has inoperable leukemia and wants to die in battle. Well, that was his lore. And then he got brought back to life for SF4, and I don't know what they did with that. Gen can't even beat Akuma. Who the fuck nearly killed Akuma? Beautiful. Yeah, all the vanilla characters are canon in SF4. Everyone in vanilla. And Gen was in vanilla. But I don't remember his like plotline.
Go.
Everyone always repeats that Cody is canonically like super powerful. He definitely has a weapon in his back pocket that he's the main character of a different franchise. And therefore has, you know, what's that called? Plot armor. But like offensively. Plot sword. We just know that Cody's holding back, but that's not necessarily that he's one of the strongest characters. He might be. It's just not much lore on it. It's just that he's not giving it his all. Trillion lions every time. It would take a planet or even a star to kill a trillion lions.
Are you ready? Go.
Cody's focus tech literally puts his arms as far apart as they could possibly be. They are clearly not restraining. His handcuffs are clearly not restraining him.
Final round. Engage.
When will we have Eddie E or whatever, EDE in a Street Fighter game? No, why would she?
You win. Now. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Aura is yellow because he's really, really old. Nakan has no pupils because white eyes are just a normal eye color in Street Fighter universe. There's a lot of other characters with white pupils, such as Sagat and Rolento.
Fighters ready.
It's just ordinary. In the Street Fighter universe, you can just have white pupils. Yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of them. Hugo might have white peoples. I can't think of like most of the time you can't even see his eyes. The cat.
Strike. Now.
Oro has really bad jaundice. One of the symptoms of jaundice is extremely yellowed skin. That's safe on parry. Even if Yang parried twice and through, Ryu would be able to tech it.
Now.
Remember Jotaro for the entirety of Part 3 being a 17-year-old? And then remember when Jotaro cameoed at the end of Part 5 in flashbacks? And he looked like an actual 17-year-old?
Final round. Engage.
Instead of like a muscle-bound freak. Yeah, we see Jotaro as the villain see Jotaro. Love that combo. It actually hits JP6, but you juggle before the juggle potential runs out.
You win. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I've never even seen a human that looked like Jotaro. What would be Polnareff even be jealous of? He was buff as hell too.
Fight is ready.
I don't want to talk about Aura's penis. I only want to talk about it in the context of it being visible. Oh, he just low parry back fierce. I didn't even know you could low parry that.
Final round. Now.
Aura does not fuck. I'm certain of this. I could 100% make a tier list of which Street Fighter characters are virgins, and Oro is like a fucking turbo virgin.
You win.
If Oro had ever had sex, he would have been like, what am I doing fucking around with this fighting stuff?
Go for it.
And he would have settled down, had a kid, and died at 60, 67. I don't know if Ibuki's a virgin. It's a possibility either way. It's fine. Romeo and Juliet laws. It's fine, guys.
Are you ready? Go.
Ugh. She's on the hunt in SF5 and she has a boyfriend by SF3, I think.
You win.
She's also on the hunt in SF4, but SF4 is maybe not canon.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Sakura is getting old. She's already 20, like 2 or some bullshit. She doesn't have a kid soon. When's she gonna have it? It took a lot of balls for them to age Sakura up. Glad they did it. It's hard to have a character like that where their entire fucking personality, their entire character design is that they're a high schooler. And then do anything with that.
Prepare to strike. Now.
That fucking tweet. Who did that? Remember that shit? It was the scene in the story mode where Sakura just says, like, she wants to settle down and have a fucking baby with Ryu. And someone tweeted it and was like, Sakura just hit Ryu with the wake up super pickup lines. Put a baby in me.
You win. Are you ready? Go.
Oh my god, it was heavy DP too. Jesus fucking Christ, I love this Ryu. That Necro was on blast from the first second of that match. Nice combo, I love that. Every time I see it, it's so cool. Ooh, Raw Tatsu. Cody has at least one and maybe several people he's friends with benefits with. One of them is Poison. I don't know if his relationship with Lucia is professional.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Damn, you guys. Ken, friend with benefits? No. He loves his wife very much. Ken doesn't have time to fuck around. Running a company, he's fucking raising a family, and he's secretly, like, staying in shape. Ken's just like, well, Eliza wouldn't like that very much. Oh, he did towards Fierce and it worked. He didn't believe in the combo though. I don't blame him. I would never go for that.
You win.
Homosexuality? No, it's a metaphor for virginity.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I wonder if Mel knows how to throw a Hadouken. What do you guys think?
Prepare to strike. Now.
I guess if Sean doesn't even know how to throw a Hadouken, maybe Mel doesn't. But also I guess Sean does because he's got the Hadouken super. It's just hard. He can still throw one though. Oh, Mel does a Hadouken. I remember being a kid and playing Marble 1 and in Ryu's ending, it shows Ken and Sean. And I remember thinking to myself, who the fuck is this yellow Shoto? Why have I never heard of him? Little did I know that I would eventually play Third Strike and still never see Sean.
Final round. Go for it.
Dhalsim only when he wants to. Necro 100% yes. I remember playing Anniversary Edition on PS2, and I looked up. This was like 2005. I looked up how to unlock Gil because I wanted to play as him, and it said beat the game with all characters. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, I'd have to play the game so much to do that. Imagine how much Third Strike you'd have to play to beat the game on arcade mode 19 times. I'm not going to do that. Imagine playing Third Strike that much. Whoa. Sick whip punish. There's lore for those skulls. Those skulls are 3 dead children who died of, I think, malnourishment. And Dhalsim like blames himself for their death. Chun-Li's got that. She's got that like that Artemis virgin energy. She's got that Elizabeth the First virgin energy. Was it Artemis? No, Athena. I think Artemis fucked. It was Athena that didn't fuck.
You win. Alright, that's cool.
Oh, Artemis was a virgin too? What the fuck?
Fight is ready. Engage.
Jesus. I thought all the Greek gods just got busy. I thought Artemis was the only one. I mean, I thought Athena was the only one that didn't.
Prepare to strike. Now.
It was just Zeus having sex with everyone. No, Aphrodite had a bunch of sex. And I think Ares also had a bunch of sex. And I don't know, presumably others. Hades had a wife, I think. And was approximately loyal to her, I think. Couldn't tell you about Neptune.
Final round. Engage.
How dare my brother cheat on me with other siblings? Ooh, cross counter.
You win.
Zeus was just like fucking
Go.
Zeus was something else. Imagine seeing a deer in the forest and being like, you know, I kind of want to fuck that deer. And conveniently, I myself can turn into a deer. Zeus existed before there was anyone to bonk.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Rosa Virgin. I'm gonna say no. Because Lisa wasn't. But that's my only logic.
Final round. Engage.
Couldn't tell you a thing about Monot. Nice.
You win. Now. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Damn, you meet up with Monot on date 1, and she's like, I already know if you're gonna get laid tonight.
Fighters ready. Engage.
Whew. Alex is fucking Patricia. Nice. Got the read.
Final round. Go for it.
I'm telling you, it's Patricia. Alex does that same awkward thing that like fucking Rocky had in Rocky 1. Except instead of brother and sister, it's father and daughter.
You win. Are you ready? Go.
Is Cody Alex's dad? The fuck? Tom is Patricia's dad. E Honda's a celebrity, he fucks. Remember that time they put a likes and dislikes thing for fucking various Street Fighter characters, and for Jury when they introduced her they put likes large breasts, and then they took it down. Jury likes large breasts. They thought that we would forget, but I haven't forgotten. She's not actually lesbian bait, it's complicated. That's a Japanese trope. You can still be straight and be obsessed with large breasts in Japan. There are other characters who have that. It's not quite the same as breast envy. Taokaka has that. She's one of those. She's that kind of character. Taokaka always playing with Lychee's chest. Yeah, I just said that, Taokaka. Same thing. I feel like there are other examples, but it's like a thing. Nice, love that punish. So cool every time I see it. Oh, you didn't get the first hit. If it's a small-breasted woman, it's usually a breast envy thing. But it's not always a small-breasted woman.
You win. Fighters ready. Engage.
I'll make sure to include likes and dislikes on the characters in my game, and I'll put big breasts in the likes for every single character. I'll just fill the like section with disgusting fetishes. It's like, oh yeah, this guy, he's a feeder. He wants to get his girlfriend obese.
Go.
That looked like a car throw. Trying to punish second Rekka with car throw.
You win. Now.
I don't know what ended. I don't know how many more I want to do. Maybe one more.
Fighters ready. Engage.
I think Sakura has a foot fetish. It's gotta be Ryu's draw for her. She's like, man, those are some grizzled feet. I'm having crazy flashbacks to that one guy who come into the Street Fighter 4 lobbies we used to do and ask about everyone's feet.
Prepare to strike. Now.
He liked Goken's feet in particular. Who was that? It's been so long. The fucking towards fierce! That Hadoken hitting was just... I think the Hadoken comboed with the Denjin.
Fighters ready. Engage.
There's a 3-hit Denjin and then a 3-hit combo. That meme that's like every day I wake up glad that I don't have a foot fetish. Thanking God I don't have a foot fetish. That'd be a great fetish to have, honestly. I don't know, everyone's like terrified of it. Because that's something where like it's not even like a lewd thing, you know what I mean? Like people don't censor feet. You can just get like what's basically porn for you in like random places. Yeah, it'd be easy. You don't even have to explain a foot fetish. You just explain that you have it, and your girlfriend's like, okay, well, I'll let you look at my feet, and that's it. It's as easy as that. I'd rather have a foot fetish than like a fine dom fetish. That's actually the worst fetish, by the way. Oh my God, he's getting schmixed. I wake up every day thanking God that I don't have a fine dom fetish. Fine dom is when your fetish is your partner spending your money. Or forcing you to buy things. There are a lot of fetishes that are weird, but that one could actually destroy your life. I would have no money if that was my fetish.
You win.
It's a psyop by e-girls.
Now.
Wow, that fucking round start punish. Crouch Fierce Fireball on the predicted, I don't know if it's predicted half circle forward kick or predicted low forward or what. Fetish for wholesome relationships. I bet that has a name, but I don't know what it is.
Prepare to strike. Now.
The catchphrase traded. Good trade for Ryu. He only ate one hit of the super. The TC. It's a sweep, maybe. Maybe lift forward. Pretty dire. The Hadoken's not gonna hit. Wow, it hit. Take it back. Ryu dashed twice. Solar Plexus is shitty in general. There's no mix-up to it, and the combos out of it are really hard to hit, and it's just parry bait because it's reactable.
Fighters ready. Engage.
At least the overhead is an overhead. It's not even not great. It's like kind of terrible. Ridiculously long startup. It can be parried on reaction, and doesn't lead to any sort of mix. And the combos out of it are extremely risky and hard to do. You've got to go for like a yellow EXDP that's a one-frame link. Whiffing Tatsus is not the optimal meteor build.
Are you ready? Go.
He might have whiffed that last one on accident, but he still got the punish. Dudley ducks pretty low for his dizzy animation, and there's some weirdness if you get behind him. Yeah, it's not horrible. It's quite good in SF2 from what I can tell. I can't picture it in alpha. It might be horrible in alpha.
Final round. Engage.
It's quite good in EX. It's quite good in SF4. It's alright in SF5. It's not great. Tummy fetish. Now we're talking. Who has the greatest tummy in video games? Must be nice. Shoto the forward. Cool punish. That still works even if you don't have super, huh? Just do the same ass thing but do 2 punches.
Are you ready? Go.
Best tummy in video games. Who is the tummy queen? Or maybe the tummy king, I don't know. Snorlax? What the fuck?
Prepare to strike. Now.
I need a slightly round tummy. Don't give me a stick. Bones are for dogs. I'm just fucking around. All body types are perfect. If you like stick, that's great. But I need a slight pot belly. I need her to be 20 pounds overweight. It's just the right amount. Show me 30 or 40, I might consider it. Yo, the red. He didn't even get a kill. Couldn't he have done like red parry into back forward into spinning hook? Instead he smashed that electricity. He's gonna trade.
You win. Fighters ready. Engage.
How sick are we talking here? Are we talking about Chun-Li MVC1 Air Super? Like that sick?
Fighters ready. Engage.
Have people ever been able to play CBS2 online? Has that literally ever been a thing? Oh, there was the GameCube one, right? You can play the GameCube one online. But it's EO. Oh, it's been around for a while. It was just delayed netcode. I see. Online Marvel 2. Someone tell Justin Wong. Just kidding. He was the first person to find out. Time for me to dust off old Spider-Man. Spider-Man M. Bison's marrow. No. I saw it one time though. Watch this go all super even and shit, and then Makoto lands one command grab right. Oh, here it comes! Here it comes! Is he gonna go for it or no? Yo, he got it! He didn't have enough meter though. He didn't have time to taunt because he had to build meter. That's still some good shit though. GG. That didn't combo. He fucked up. He thought he was gonna be on the other side. He rolled the wrong way. That's the annoying thing about Makoto is you can't walk. Pretty much anyone could just walk to choose which side they end up on, but Makoto doesn't move when she walks. That's just hard to do. That was a trial and online edition, I think. I did it once. It's just instant. I think it's instant Fukiage. And then stand hard kick Kara Fukiage after a dash. On some characters, you need the double Kara. You need to stand roundhouse Kara Fukiage both times. I think. And then on some characters, you've got some other weird juggles. Like on Chun-Li, you can do like a stand short Kara Kusa. Reading Makoto was in Street Fighter 4. Did you forget? Brick? What the fuck is Brick? There's like a fucking new. There's a new door that I never found out about. Is it like fucking Muscular Girls? Is it Strong Fat? Nice. You say built like a TI-84 calculator, and I pictured old and expensive. There's got to be at least one short stack fighting game character. Give me a second to think about it, and I'll come up with one. I was gonna say S from BlazBlue, but she's really more just Opie Lolly. She doesn't have the hips to be a short stack. Or the everything. She just has the titties. Imagine being a woman coming into a chat room with a bunch of guys talking about Opie Lolly. And then just being like, why are men like this? He could have parried that. That's a cold take. I like that. I agree with that take. Zero Suit Samus was a mistake. Too generic. Did that all combo? Oh, it might have been a late cancel. The lolly debate. I don't know what that means, and I'm afraid to answer. If no one's getting hurt, it's a-okay. For example, if it's 2D. You like what you like. There's no fetish that's disgusting. There are only fetishes that I don't have. Earlier I said imagine being a fine dom fetishist. That would be horrible. But if you're a fine dom fetishist, you're okay. Don't worry. Everything will be alright. I didn't lose respect for you. Is it ethical or unethical? If it's a drawing, I don't give a shit. Damn, she fell out.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Hello. Person coming in during lolly debate. Nice. Caught the extended button with the stand around house. And then just Makoto fucking bleeds out all over the ground. Oh, I've seen that. Dudley's seen it too, baby. That's a really cool reset. Dudley did the parry block OS, so he didn't care. He's been in that scenario before. That if that Fukiage hits, it dizzies. And then you shake your head and move on with your life. Nice. Big jump in. He could have spent the super and killed, and he didn't. That was greedy. I mean, I look at the life bars, there's no real reason to use the super. But Ryu's going to build more meter because of that. But with Denshin Ryu, it doesn't matter that much. Ryu's going to have the meter by the time he gets a knockdown anyway. And unless you have a lot of prior stun, Hadouken and Denshin in neutral is not scary. You need the knockdown. There it is. Oh, a trade. It's a very favorable trade for Ryu. That works better if you're further out. Huh? I think this game is great to play too. Just find a character you like. Denshin's better than Shinku. It really depends on who you ask. Generally speaking, Denshin has had better tournament results than any other super. And it's the most common one these days, but not by a country mile or anything. It is hard to get started, and it is awesome to play. There's also not a character for everyone, I think. Like, there's just some people who like who would you main, you know what I mean? Like, whatever character archetype they like to play just isn't in the game. Nice. Love Necro's real animations. You see him in that super freeze, he was just like all the way over there. Stand medium kick. Yeah. Akuma does have the capacity to zone as much as anyone does in this game. You can zone with him, you can zone with Oro, you can zone with Chun-Li, you can zone with Remy, that's about it. Those are like the only characters with any sort of real zoning potential. In some matchups you can zone with 12 or Necro. No one else zones for shit. Oh. Stand Fierce EX Dash Punch. What? Why would you not EX there? Get that dizzy, you need it. I feel like you've got the meter to EX and you got the opponent in the corner. Fuck it. This could go either way. It's pretty even right now. I couldn't tell you what this matchup is. Probably 5-5. If you asked me to say Makoto's archetype, I would say Grappler. Whoa, just dash into nothing. Dash parry? Nice. A lot of damage on this. Oh, did he want that to hit or not? I can't tell. Oh, GG. He can't dizzy though. Probably. Probably can't dizzy. What's a sneaky reset? That was trying to catch Dudley doing OS block parry. That was like slightly delayed and he had to cancel. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, left forward and stand fierce when they're on the ground. Jump fierce when they're in the air. That's how to play Chun-Li. And then learn the low forward confirm. And with literally only those things, you can be a good player. Also, ideally learn the Stammeros confirm, but that one's a little harder. Carthro is a one-frame window, but it's pretty easy anyway. It's not one frame in the sense that a link is one frame. The one frame is instant. You can just have the muscle memory to do it perfectly every time. I get my Karas more often than I drop them with Carthros. Like way more. I get them like 7/8 of the time maybe. I like almost never drop Aura's Carthro. Chun-Li's is one frame, I'm pretty sure. I think it is one. Makoto's is looser than one frame, but I can't think of another Carthro that's looser than one. Can you believe the designs in SF3 were attacked when this game came out? I think almost all the designs are good as hell. People have completely turned around since then. Almost all the Third Strike characters are like, oh my god, this design is great. Love Makoto. Love Dudley. Love Elena. Love Ibuki. Love Necro. Love Hugo. Love 12. Yeah, people didn't like the original cast, but these characters are like honestly more appealing than SF2 characters were. Or not overall. I think the best SF2 characters have better designs, but like there's a lot of shitty SF2 characters as well. Like no one actually really likes Honda, right? I don't know how people feel about Dalsim from a character design perspective. Zangief, there's no one. I mean, Hugo is great, but Zangief is a much better design than Hugo, I think.
Prepare to strike. Now.
I don't know how people feel about Shadaloo. I like all four of them. I'm not crazy about Kimmy. She's okay. Most of Kimmy's appeal is girl, I feel. Nothing English about her. I like that she's small. That's kind of fun. It's nice to have like a small, like fast character. And Kimmy's like the best example of that in Street Fighter, I think. Or she was at the time. Nowadays you might say Yun. Um, T-Hawk, almost everyone seems to dislike. There's a lockout for parry, yeah. It's like a 10 frame window for a parry and then like an extra 7 frames of lockout, something like that. You cannot parry, you cannot just mash forward to get a parry every frame. It's literally just called parry lock. That was a really long hold. Necro could have held up. Kemi is almost a Toho. I never really thought about it, but she is.
Enter the heat of battle. Go for it.
I don't know if the lockout applies if you go for a forward parry than a down parry. If you're like locked out of the down parry. I think they could have done better for fucking Native American representation. But it's hard to say because most Native American, they just do the same thing every time whenever they want a fucking Native American in a fighting game. There's just one design everyone's sharing. Separate lockouts per direction and air parry and forward parry are shared. Wow. I like Nightwolf. I have no strong opinions about T-Hawk. He's okay. I have no strong opinions on Chief Thunder. Julia is actually pretty good. I like her. Julia is probably my favorite, now I think about it. Julia is a much better take on the respect the land that you always see with Native American characters. Feels like a real person.
Enter the heat of battle. Go for it.
It's always like I can talk to trees or some bullshit. And Julia is just like a bleeding heart environmentalist, which is like a more realistic version of that. What about Julie? It wasn't even her, was it? I think they retconned that, or like changed it or something, or maybe it was never like that. One of the dolls was actually T-Hawk's wife or some bullshit like that. And then I think it was supposed to be Julia, and then they were like, they moved back on that. Like also named Julia, but a different Julia. And now it might just be No and Blue or whatever. Oh, his sister? Maybe. I feel like it was one of the Alpha 3 dolls, but they might have retconned it to being No and Blue. Or they might have just forgotten about it. Dudley doesn't require balls out play, but a lot of Dudley players are balls out. It's just the kind of person that picks the character, I feel. Dudley players have the same energy as Ken players, even though Dudley doesn't require it at all. Got the hard knockdown. You only needed one hit. Yeah. Long average health bar, long dizzy bar. Have some fun. Oof. Just got a full jump in. He had to burn the meter. This time he spends it. Holy shit, I think you're onto something, Mungus. Make a fighting game where it's all cute girls. Oh wait, that was Skullgirls. And then they added 2 men. Then they added a man and a robot. Oh no. Yeah, SNK heroines. And there was another one. That's not even the first time SNK's made an all-girl fighting game. That towards short looked hella awkward. Did he want to stay in short on the other direction? Was Nitro Plus all girls? I don't remember. I legit do not remember if there were men in Nitro Plus Blasters. I want to say it was all girls. How come there's still no fighting game where everyone's a dog? Or is there one and I just don't know about it? Yeah, them's fighting herds. Whole roster of ungulates. I have to pee! But there's still 30 minutes left of the video. Truly I'm suffering. Alright, no one cause a ruckus. I'll be right back. Here I am. A dog fighting game. Alright, what about a fighting game where you're a human and all the enemies are dogs? And you just have to kill dogs. And they're not like huskies or fucking Rottweilers or anything, they're like Pomeranians. None of them have any attacks. I wonder if there was some kind of elaborate kill there. Put dog enemies in your game. I've never played a video game with a dog enemy where I like the dog enemy. Not even once. Struggling to think of a single dog enemy that ever made a game better. There will be at most one animal in my game. Wow, was that a bait? That was a sick bait. That was like perfectly timed. It's like, yeah, of course you're gonna dash punch me. Oh, I've seen Necro do that kind of stuff all the time. The throw creates a JP0 state, which are very hard to create in SF3. So you can get some really nonsense stuff in the corner. He's got some other weird starters to get nonsense combos. Makoto's a fairly easy character to juggle in that scenario. There's I remember a Pino, I think Pino AB7 versus a Makoto player named Jasmine. And there was like a corner combo that was just insane. Yeah, Makoto's wide. She's one of the widest characters on the ground. She's one of the widest characters when falling. I think she is the widest character on the ground. Whoa. Alright. Dash punch would have done it too. He probably could have just done light dash punch. Equally vulnerable to parry. Equally killing. Hugo might be wider. Hugo's wideness kind of doesn't matter because he's so tall. What could it be? If I mouse over it, will it work? Oh, it's... I don't know what it is. It's a head. It's someone. That's like the first time in a long time that I tried to hover over a link and it actually showed me the picture. Ah, that probably works. Jesus, Jesus! Makoto had to do a post-freeze parry there. That was very difficult with that super. Oh, what a good whiff punish. Dudley is great at whiff punishing. She fell out! Oh, this is why SA3 is nice. He probably had a combo that just was missing something. You know, he had like towards forward super and just kill the uppercut portion. And it wouldn't have fallen out. Something like that. My favorite fruit. Probably the grape. I'm also a big fan of the mango. I call those my top two. The fruit I eat the most is banana. Bananas are just so low effort. I don't give a shit about the grape color. Where I live doesn't sell like the fucking blue grapes or whatever, but we get the red ones and the green ones all the time. The red ones and the white ones. And honestly, I like them both equally. I want to say yes, you can cancel into a cross counter after a normal gets parried. There's also the punch and cross, which is literally that. Dudley has a secret special move. Fellas, all this time carrot cake has been a fruit cake. Bananas just pair nicely with stuff I commonly eat. Like I have oatmeal for breakfast most days, and I almost always put a banana in it if I have one. So there's 7 bananas a week. They make it much nicer. Banana oatmeal is truly a god tier breakfast. Strawberries and oatmeal is good too, but then I've got to get out a knife and cut off some strawberry tops. It's annoying. Even though strawberries are so good. I just don't want to fuck with that. Mangoes. I listed mangoes as one of my favorite fruits, and they're even worse about that. Just eat the green part. You can do that. I've eaten it on accident before. It's not horrible. Oh, just fucking... Just do it as I eat them. Smart. Mangoes are a pain to eat. The flavor's nice though. I haven't bought oranges in a really long time, but they're a pain to eat. When you get a bite that's like a lot of pith. When it's like, man, I just want to eat this thing, fuck the pith that's there. But then there's one part that has like a lot of pith. It's like, go away, I just want to eat my orange. No, I've never poured sugar on a strawberry. I'm pretty good with mandarins to peel them in one go. Where I don't have like pieces of skin, I just have like a single fucking thing. Wow. What an unusual scenario. I can't remember the last time I've had a grapefruit. I've never like bought a grapefruit. But I've gone to hotels where they just have grapefruit sitting out, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's give this a go. And that's the only context I've ever had grapefruit in my life. I think I remember liking it. I made a mess though. Marmalade is good as fuck. I sometimes buy orange marmalade. Orange marmalade on toast is fucking god tier. For years and years, I only had orange marmalade when I was sick. And I just have like fond memories, like when I had a cold or something like that. I have fond memories of just like it being like healing food. I don't know if you guys do stuff like that. Just makes me feel better when I'm having it. Nice. It's about as good as things could have possibly gone for Dudley there. Still getting fucked. Landed a hit. Suppose I didn't kill. Nice. Reversal something got stuffed. Tatsu? I think Ree's trying to talk. Okay. Dude, chicken noodle soup or soup in general when you're sick. Spicy, any kind of spicy soup when you're sick. You guys ever have blocked ass sinuses? You guys ever have massive congestion? And your fucking eyes are watering and all that shit, and then you just have some fucking spicy soup? And the fucking steam coming off the soup clears your nose? That's a good feel. Oh, he went full ham. Oh my god, this Dudley's getting so much mileage out of Whiffed Stammer House buffer cancels. Love that. Look at the Dizzy. Look at all the Dizzy. Sad. Go eat something. I'm thinking about having a YouTube video where I just eat a toast sandwich. I think a lot of people think the idea of a toast sandwich is really funny. But, like, everyone doesn't want to waste the 3 pieces of bread it would cost to have a toast sandwich. So I think I want to bite the bullet for everyone and just try it. I think I would put butter and, like, maybe sugar and not sugar, salt and pepper on one side, and then I would leave the other side plain. And I don't mean like, I mean like half the sandwich would be plain and the other half would have butter and salt and pepper.
Prepare to strike. Now.
Yeah, the toast is in the middle. It's 2 pieces of bread with a piece of toast in the center. Oh no, Makoto's getting schmixed.
Alright, that's cool. Final round. Engage.
A BLT where the bun is bacon and the center is toast. BLT is a perfectly fine sandwich and I've never complained whenever I've eaten one, but I've never bought one myself. Invariably it's just like, hey, we got free subs for delivery. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, here's your BLT, and I'm like, okay. And I have it and it's good. I never buy them though.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
My god tier sandwich is an cheese and onion sandwich. Is that what it's called? I forget. It's like an English sandwich with the red Leicester and I think cheddar, and then onion and mayo. And man, they are good. No, someone already had a toast sandwich.
Are you ready? Go.
That shit is fucking nice. That's a nice sandwich. All the ones I've ever had didn't have meat, but I'm curious to know how meat could improve it. Or whether meat could improve it. It's so nice as is, though. I was blown away by how much I like those things. I don't even think we have red luster over here. Nice.
You win. Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
I like a lot of sharp cheeses. Whenever I get cheddar, I get the sharp cheddar. And whenever they have the very sharp cheddar, I get that. Sand toast switch.
Are you ready?
That sounds a little cursed. Well, guys, I went to the Home Depot and I bought a bag of play sand. Time to make my sand toast switch. Oof.
You win. Alright, that's cool. Now.
I love pepper jack.
Fighters.
That might be my favorite cheese. Pepper jack's a hella nice cheese. But I can't just eat it by itself. There are cheeses where it's like, yeah, this is fine. Or like I should say even with like one other thing. Pepper jack and grapes is still like pretty aggressive on the taste buds. I just called the ends, what the fuck? Jesus, what's going on? That was weird. I love this Necro fucking mashing that electricity. Can't tell if that was a deliberate whiff.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Oh no. He probably tried to jump drill every time. Makoto, if the throw here, Necro wins. Yeah, there it is. Bonk.
You win. Now. Into the heat
That
of
one
battle.
post that's like, today I learned the rest of the world calls a knob of butter a stick of butter. And then everyone's like, holy shit, British people call fucking sticks of butter knobs. And then there was someone like a throbbing cock of butter. I've heard someone say knob of butter, but I didn't realize it was supposed to be like a whole stick. I always took like a knob to be like, a knob of butter to just be like a glob of butter or something like that. Or it's just like a fucking, like a tablespoon or two. Jump Strong is my favorite Necronormal.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Ugh, the back throw! Necker did the frame 1 airborne thing twice. And both times it just didn't help him at all. Though they didn't commit to anything and then reset him into a fucking low overhead mix-up. Fuck sleeping. What's it even do? What good thing does sleeping do? Make me feel better? Damn, when you're in bed, it's like, I don't even feel like sleeping. And then you wake up in the morning, it's like, God, I just want to sleep. I want to feel the way I feel when I just woke up when I'm trying to sleep. That feeling when you wake up and you can go back to sleep and there's nothing preventing you from going back to sleep is like the best feeling. It's just like, yes, take me back to your warm embrace, sleep goddess. I can go right back to sleep like nothing. I'm lucky. Tried to do the buffered cancel and Ryu blocked it like instantly. Why? Oh, no, it wasn't that instant. That was pretty fast. Why does Ryu dash that fast? Why does Ryu have the fastest dash in the game? Does it actually?
Are you ready? Go.
Here I go. Ah! I just pulled off the band-aid that was over my flu shot. You can still see the spot where I got my flu shot. No, I didn't munch on anything. I was pulling off a band-aid. I'm about to pull off the other one. Ah! There we go. I'm now band-aidless. Sorry, that was a disgusting noise. I was peeling off my nipple tassels.
Fighters ready. Engage.
from my long hard day as a male exotic dancer. Did he miss a ducking there? Still comboed. Nice. God. He landed on the other side after only one hit. Both of them looked surprised by that shit. Bath themed merch store? Is this how I make money? Is this the missing link? He actually did it! He actually did it! That command grab does, it does all the damage when the opponent lands. So you kill your own juggle to try and... You kill all the damage of the command grab to try and juggle here. And almost invariably, the juggle you go for will probably do less damage than the command grab. But he did it. I don't know if he did less or more, it's hard to say. I already have a BAF Patreon, what the fuck? It's my pinned tweet. See, this is the problem, is I never advertise that stuff on my YouTube. I gotta have that guy who just comes in every single stream. And it's just like, oh yeah, Baff, you need a Patreon. And then I draw attention to it every time. It's a plant. I need a plant. People seem to like me. That makes me happy. I put it in the description of my bigger YouTube videos, but not little ones. Oh, yeah, it's on my Twitch too if you scroll down. Whoa. Probably an accident. Smart. Oh, he missed the first parry. Not smart. He did the most sensible possible thing to do there. Like the most reliable, I should say. Cool. Yeah, it was smart until he ate the dent into the face. We're probably nearly at the end of this video, and then I'm going to try and sleep. Sad, we've only got 1 minute and 12 seconds left. 14. It's not fair, bros. Oh yeah, I'm only here in the first place because I finished my essay. I just want everyone to know that. I had like a big essay I had to do for one of my classes, Survey of Disease. And it's due on the 4th of November, and I finished it on the 11th of... the 12th of... 12th of October. Isn't it kind of nice to have like a big essay? It's the only essay in the class, and now that I've done it, it's just done forever. Isn't it nice to just be done with like some huge project way before it's supposed to be? Remember the 5th of November? Gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason this gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Some bullshit like that. I love the Guy Fawkes meme where it's like, he's the only man to have ever entered Parliament with honest intentions. When I think about that, when I hear that, I'd laugh. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. It's been fun.